What's up, guys? Back over here on the Hellcat. One question that I had that I actually ran into for a while was what radiator hoses can fit? Do I have to do custom ones? Do I have to make some? Do I have to use pipe? Do I have to order kits? How do I get the coolant from the motor to the radiator? Yesterday I found a lower radiator hose. I figured out which one fit. Of course, some trimming, some adjusting needs to be done, and I'll show you what I did to do that. As far as the upper, it fit perfectly fine. Put it on here and then just shortened it on the radiator side. And this one right here, this is a Gates brand, number 20958. Like I said, fit perfectly fine, just had to trim it here. That went on just fine. As far as the lower, that was the tricky part. That was the one I had trouble finding. Same brand, Gates, number 23035. Now, one thing, this one does have a bend right here. I believe it comes from a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and it wanted to ride on the compressor pulley. So I'm gonna find a bracket or find a way to mount this to the radiator shroud, to the aluminum itself, rather than the fan shroud. But for now, it'll keep it off of there so I can test the motor. Had a perfectly good 180-degree bend on it. Everything cleared, plenty of room around the belt. Looped around, like I said, it wanted to come out, so I just mounted it back against there for now. And everything works out good. This side coming on the motor, everything is actually swedged large enough to an 1.75 inch hose where it worked perfectly fine. Now when you get to the lower radiator part, this was a smaller diameter. It would not fit over this, so what I did was I actually took the hose out. I actually brought it over here to the vise, and I have a socket. I believe it's a 35. Let's see, yeah, 35 millimeter socket. Took this in, actually took some PV blaster, something with a little bit of grease, sprayed it on the socket, got that hose on top. I used a little bit of heat from the heat gun to go ahead and heat it up and loosen up the rubber, and eventually got it down about 2.5 fingers down onto here. So that gave it plenty. I stuck it on there. Took me a minute, probably 10 minutes or so to get it on there. Let it sit overnight. This morning I came out, took it off the socket, went over there, put it on the hose, or on the radiator itself, and everything actually went on just fine. Like I said, the only issue that I had was where it wanted to touch the AC pulley, mounted it back, everything there is good to go. So as far as the cooling system goes, everything here is good. If you have any questions or what to figure out, I got these parts from O'Reilly's. If I had to guess, lower hose and upper hose might have been $50 for both, somewhere in there. But if you're doing a Hellcat swap and you're looking to figure out what hoses you can use, I personally have a Griffin radiator. Like I said, both ends are on the passenger side, so if you do have one of those, you can use these hoses. It took me a while to figure out, actually a couple months, kind of just searching around and just kind of waiting. So if you're doing a Hellcat swap, these hoses can work perfectly for you. Like I said, lower radiator hose needs to be mounted backwards off the pulley, and this side needs to be enlarged. I used a 35 millimeter socket to do that and let it sit overnight. So if you have any questions, leave a comment, let me know. Just trying to help somebody out that might have the same issue or might be trying to figure out how to do it on their swap. Like and subscribe.